Oh, nice. How's it going? How does it feel? Here, I have like a blanket that I'm wearing. I'm going to take it off. It's a little easier to maneuver. And I do have some polymer clay that I plan on getting into at some point, but I figure start with what people know and then I can break away and try some other things. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I found that it was just a lot more like I found the tapping on the regular screen versus was like a nice difference. I don't know if that's just a sensory thing for me, but like the noise difference was I enjoyed it. Hello. Yeah, like the tapping, especially my older where dun, 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 dun. Here it is. So I used to use this stylus and it would make such loud noises. So anyways, I liked switching to the paper screen protector because I felt like it really helped mute some of that sound. All right, so I am going to, I'm not done with the sweater yet, but I do want to just kind of jump around a little bit like I normally do. So I'm going to start with a pretty dark color here and then work my way lighter. All right. So now that I have the base down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on Alpha Lock so that I can put down some darker color without worrying about it. I can't draw over here, right? Nothing's going to happen. It's only going to draw on the layer that I have the Alpha Lock on. And so that is what I'm going to do right here. I'm also going to make it a little bit darker right around here where the elbow is leaning on the book. Let's see, we can take off the sketch just so we can start to get an idea of how it's coming along. Looks lovely, right? just absolutely lovely. Okay. I'm just going to duplicate this a couple times just because I had the opacity down when I was brushing this in, and I don't feel like having to touch up everything. So there we go. I'm going to take this color on a new layer, create a clipping mask, get the sketch back in there, and make sure I'm still on that clipping mask so that I can draw along here. I will want to get some shadow coming a little bit up on the page. So now I'll use my smudge tool. I'm going to go back to Inca. I like that brush for smudging. Especially because the page, I'd like it to have some texture. So it's a really quiet Sunday. Normally it's a little bit busier. Not that I mind. I'm just like, it's a very quiet Sunday. It's Sabbath though, right? Okay. Okay, so I can combine those so that I can and I'm going to don't need this layer anymore. I was using this layer to just show where sunlight was coming in. So with the sketch on, you can see I want like a moon, some sort of light to come down and hit on certain points, and then also like a candle or something back here illuminating the backside. But I don't really necessarily need that. I'll keep it for now, but I might delete it soon. I'm going to do add blending mode for this particular layer. I'm going to grab this, maybe pull it a little bit to a warmer version, and I'm going to use that to start highlighting parts of the book. All right, I'm just going to use the smudge tool to soften this up, get some texture on the page, just erasing what I feel is not necessary or overdone. I'm trying to get my brush strokes as well for the blending to sort of be with the the perspective of the book page. So having the light sort of move along the shape of the page. Maybe have it just a little bit of a highlight in certain parts. I still haven't figured out how I want to do the text yet, but I do want to have, I would like to have this part sort of worked out. And okay. I also need to paint in the underside of the cover. Going back to the book, I'm going to add a new layer on top and use a clipping mask and grab the color there and get something that's a little bit darker so I can also still add in on this new layer some like page color variation. I'm going to move the sketch so I can see a little better. Hey there, Maddie, how you doing? And then I do want to take off the alpha lock for this real quick. I want to make some amendments here. All right, and then I can put the alpha lock back on and then I can smudge as needed. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, feel free to mention it. Otherwise, I'm just quietly painting focused. In a little bit, I'm going to do a polymer clay project. I am new to polymer, so I will be making lots of mistakes, so you guys can enjoy that. And okay, add a new layer, but put it underneath. Turn on this. All right. What? Maybe I'll just start with black and then I'll figure out what color I want to add to it after that. Okay, so I think, going back here, I think this one needs to be just a little bit lower. Which means this line up here, freehand, needs to be lower as well. And I'm going to use warp so I can get it to move along the paper a little bit easier. Okay. Alrighty, and then on a new layer up here, if I turn, let's see, I'm going to, so I'm going to go to the sketch, I'm going to unlock it, and then I'm going to invert it so that way it's white so I can see a little bit better for now, and then relock. So, okay. And then here, what color should I do? Maybe let's do a gray like that for now, and then take this part off. Okay, so technically it would be here, and then likely this would be here. So I'm going to first move it over. I also am going to make it larger. For the size book, it would be larger. Okay. And combine those three. I can always make changes later, but for now, I'm going to say it's good enough. I'm going to go back to this bluish color and back to the add blend and try and get some color established on this book cover. Same for over here. This side maybe even more so than the other. Okay. Having that back, I'm going to go now to, let's see, I think I want these two together. Okay. Let me grab, I'm going to start with black and just move my way lighter after that. And let's see. I think let's start with a rectangle and I'll show you guys what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start with a rectangle and then fill it and do however I want it to be up here. Technically I want it here. I think I'm going to have to move this here back though. There. Okay. So now I'm going to utilize distort to get this to be perspective wise to line up with the sketch. So all right, so there's the first part. And I'm going to now, gonna make it like a dark brown. I will mess with it and add different coloring, shading, and I'll put like a wood texture, I think. But I just wanted it to be easy to differentiate between this bottom part that we're about to make. So I'm going back to my selection tool, rectangle once again, and filling and selecting. It is on distort. I'm going to start with uniform, bring it down here. Using distort now. I don't really have to worry about what it's doing underneath here because we can't see, but what's important is how it's lining up down here. Okay, so now we've got that. Let me take off the white for a second. Okay, so we can start to see what's happening a little bit easier. So for this, I'm going to grab this blue and I'm just going to paint on some lines real quick here. Maybe some over here. I'm going to try motion blur. So you can do motion blur is going to respond to which motion you're going in. So I want to find one that keeps those lines intact, but does blur them a little bit. I want it to sort of have like a wood effect, wood grain. And now I can take that color down. I still want it there, I just don't need it to be super vibrant. And then I can also paint in now. Let's make this just a bit darker. And then now I can, on this one, paint in that lighter brown. I'm even going to grab some black while I'm here and just okay. So it's not perfect, but it helps like get just a little bit of detail down, and then we can always go in later. And we can hand paint in anything we don't want. I'm going to take the smudge tool and I'm just going to rework some of it. And go back up here. I'm going to use the, should I use a different one? I don't know. Maybe I don't need that one anymore. I will use that. All right. So then another thing, I'm going to combine those and combine that for now. Under here, probably something like this. Another rectangle fill. And then I'm just going to erase what I don't need, which is right here. And let's see. It's probably fine. I just need to get some shading to make it appear correct. And then I need to make drapes of some kind here. So I'm going to put it at the front. I'm going to make them gray because I would like to try and make them seem almost like see-through. I'm trying translucent. Let's see. I guess for starters, let's get this darker. So feather. I'm going to make this darker. And then I can use my smudge tool. And I also want to try and soften up this a little bit and make it seem a little bit more like a soft fabric, not a harsh fabric. Okay, I'm needing to go back to this. Thank you. All right, I will be back in a little bit, guys.